Hi folks, taking a look at another AliExpress cheapo electronics kit today, and this one is the 16 sound box. I think it's described as a 16 sounds box. And what it is just a little kit that, you know, hopefully will make 16 different types of sound. Not sure what types of sound it makes. I'm hoping it's one of those, you know, the old sort of space type machine gun and space rocket and all that kind of stuff that used to get your kids. Used to get the little key ring with the buttons on that makes 8 different sounds. I'm not sure, but I thought we'll get it, we'll build it up and see what it's like. This one, including delivery to the United Kingdom from China, was I think 96p. So again, great value and a great little starter kit for somebody getting into electronics, or for teachers and, you know, other sort of educational establishments. So yeah, again, really good quality board. Cannot fault the board at all, provided it was, of course. But yeah, nice routed board. You can see they've cut a slot out the board, and that's for the little I suppose daughter board, if you want to call it that. And that's just a little thin, sort of cheaper PCB, looks like pressed paper, and it's got a little cob, little chip on board there, and that presumably has a sound data in it. And yeah, that just slots in there like so, and then solders onto the board. You can see that those pads on the daughter board match up with those pads there, and there's additional 2 pads at the top which we're going to have to link into these 2 on the top of the board. So just to keep the video a bit shorter, because I'm conscious my videos are quite long, I'm going to sort of pause the video now and solder in this smaller components, resistors, diodes, etc. And then I'll restart the video, and then we'll go through the final components. If you are brand new to soldering, have a look at some other videos, and there's a sort of mini tutorial in amongst some of my other kit builds. So, like I say, I'll go get this started and I'll see you shortly. Okay folks, welcome back. That's me put all the sort of smaller components in these switches, a little bit wonky but never mind, and the IC holders. The only couple of things left to put in is the power leads, a little transistor here, and a little piezo loudspeaker, this one here. Now, when I was checking the components after I paused the video, there was I noticed that there was 2 resistors missing, and they were 270k resistors. Now I checked my parts, and I didn't have any 270k resistors. The closest I had was 300k, so I've put a couple of 300k resistors in here, and hoping that that should work okay. So the next component we're going to put in is the daughter board itself. Now the reason I'm putting this in is because I don't know if I'll have the right angle to get into these pads to join them. So what I'm going to do is we'll do that first, and then we can put the last few through-hole components on there. So what we're going to do, or how we're going to connect these top 2 connectors, is simply going to use a couple of scrap leads, you know, the trimmed leads off the other through-hole components. We'll just use those because there's nothing on the back that they could short out onto, and it's just easy, and they're nice and easy to form. So how I'm going to do this first, is I'm just firstly going to put the scrap leads through like so. Wait to see if I can pick this one up, and just let gravity do its job, and that'll just hold the board at an angle like so, hopefully. There we go. And then we'll just, if I can zoom in there for you, that's maybe a bit better. And what we'll do is we'll just tack these scrap leads up. Like so. Oops. Okay. Right. Hopefully you saw that okay. So yeah, just trim those, we get to focus, trim those leads off there. So there's our top two connections done, and then it leaves us with these two short leads which are going to go into these holes here. So what I'll do is I'll just use my little needle nose pliers and gently bend those round. And like I say, there's nothing for them to short onto. Sorry, hopefully you saw that. I'll just zoom back out again. Yeah, there's nothing for them to short out on the back, so there's no absolutely no dramas with that. And then we'll just pop the board in, and the easiest way to do this is, again, if we let gravity do its job, and what we'll do is we'll just tack up one side of the board just now. As you can see, that is completely wonky, but what we can do is, if we just apply some pressure on the bottom of the daughter board and then heat up, reflow that joint, and then just adjust it, and then we can see the board is nice and flush to the bottom now, and then it's just a case of tacking up the other side, of that. Sorry, not the other side, but the other lead. Just give that another little dot of solder. Perfect. Okie dokes. Right, so now we just give those a little trim. We can see we've got the board nice and flush, and just needing to solder these contacts to basically join the board at right angles. I know it's a bit weird, but I actually find this quite therapeutic doing this. So if I'm trying to adjust this so you can see it okay. If I zoom in, I'll just move that there slightly, so you can see there's you know, the contacts match up, and we basically got to join those contacts with some solder. Now you do need not an excessive amount of solder, but you want it. You want this solder joint to obviously create a good electrical connection, but you also want it essentially as a mechanical connection as well. So we do want quite a bit. So just tin wire iron as we normally would do, but quite a lot of solder on there, so it's going to heat up both sides, and then just flow that in like so, and hopefully, yeah, you can just see the joint there. Same again, tin wire joint, and then flow quite a bit of solder in there. This one's looks like it's been a bit problematic. Yeah, that one's just flowing straight through the bottom. We'll come back to that one. I'll just start from this end there. There we go. This is not ideal. It's quite difficult to get in here, to be honest. And there we go. That one. We'll just come back to those two other ones which weren't really playing ball. There we go. And yeah, if you can hopefully be able to see what I'm doing on camera there, oh, possibly not, I'll just readjust that. If you heat up the solder and almost sort of drag it onto the other side of the board, like so. There we go. So I'll just get that up. So you can see we've got nice sort of structural joints, if you like, connecting both sides of the board. I'll just give this one a little touch here. Yeah, that's a bit better there. So nice shiny joints there. Maybe a bit too much solder on this one here, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's branching across. And then the last thing to do is just put a few remaining components in. So first of all, we will put in a little transistor here, and as you can see, there should be no need to adjust the pins very much. Sometimes they're in almost like in a triangular sort of arrangement, but this is just purely the 3 connections in a straight line. Like so. And we'll trim those off like that. And a little piezo buzzer, so we can see the positive on the right there, and that obviously matches up with the plus on the board. I think this might be slightly different pitch to they may have various models that they use for this, because I've had to sort of bend the legs out very slightly to fit that in. Okay, that's that in. Little trim. Now you'll notice on the bottom here we've got A, B, C, D and ground. I'm thinking that's basically essentially a remote of these switches here. So they did come supplied with these header pins, which I'm not going to fit. I'm just purely going to use the what do you call it? Use the switches, and for power, obviously we could use the header pins for a JST connector or similar. But I'm just going to wire the, put the wires straight into the board. Okay, so we shall do. I think we'll go top to bottom. So do the positive side first. And again, we'll just let gravity do the job, hold that in place for us. Like so. And if, like in this case, the you can see the lead hasn't fully come through, the insulation isn't fully up to PCB, we can just apply pressure with our fingers, hold the lead, reflow the joint, and then push it in slightly. And as you can see, the insulation is flush to the board now. Okay. I'll just trim that off. And just do the same with a negative lead. And yeah, just the same process. Okay. Sorry, I hope you've been able to see some of that. I think some of it might have been off camera. Okay, now that's the board's complete in terms of components. And lastly, what we're going to have to do is put in our ICs now. So we've got a Texas Instruments 4066BE and we've got a 4011BP. So a 4011's this one here in the middle. So we'll just pop that in, taking note of the notch which goes to the bottom. And just push that home. And then again the notch at the bottom, and this is a 4066. And that's the board complete. So I think what we'll do then is plug it in to the bench supply here. If I just put this to, I think it's 4.5 volts this takes, and we'll just hook it up using little crocodile clips. Oops, here we go. So this may be noisy. And I think that's enough of that. So yeah, that seems to work okay. And remember, I did change the 270k ohm resistors for 300k ohm resistors, so I don't think there's any problems with doing that if you're in a similar situation. So there we go, guys. That's the 16 sound box kit available from AliExpress. Yeah, if you just search for that, I'm sure you'll find it, and you may get it on other cheap Chinese websites or eBay indeed. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions, queries or comments, please leave them. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and of course if you feel the need to, please subscribe, and I'll hope to see you soon for another video. Take care, bye bye.